Sue has a particular interest on the no method.
That's why I mentioned
Right,
it, yes.
right.
I just asked her if there is a method now that can help understanding to arise.
就现在这一刻，生命只在这一刻，有什么方法可以让智慧升起？
We'd like to hear her ideas.
了解这一切都是因缘法的一个生灭过程，那你就不会去执取心，那就会感觉就比较轻松，不会一直绑住的感觉。
那有方法吗？
没有，就是你就是随时你就看到这个生命，我觉得没有特别的什么方法了。
Just because now the realities are by conditions, so the method is just observing what is the real reality now.
What is observing and who or what is observing?
你说观察嘛，对不对？那什么？你就是观察现在什么在生灭嘛，对不对？
就是好像你直接了解说，因为或许是说我们一个知识性的了解了，所以说你知道一切的法都是因缘的生灭过程而已，所以变成就是说我们的知识性、理解性了解的话，你对于这个比较不会去执取性。那我是这个意思，就是说，对，就这样子。
那有没有观察？要不要观察现在的法？
你说观察，好像也不是观察。
OK，
这怎么讲？好像你就感觉就知道，就觉知就是这样子一个过程而已啊，没有特别说什么方法去。这个我不会描述。
It's not like someone observing, but it's awareness.
So who or what is aware?
你刚刚说觉知，对不对？那是什么或者是谁在觉知呢？
心。
Chitta.
And what does it mean, aware? If you say Chitta is aware, what does it mean?
如果我们说是心在觉知啊，那觉知是什么意思？
也是有一个心跟心所，我们一个对应在知道。
有一个心所在知道。
对，就是你有一个因缘所缘嘛，一切都是在因缘里面。
是心知道还是心所知道？
心。
Chitta knows, Chitta aware, Chitta knows.
What does it know or what is it aware of?
那如果你说心去知道，心是去觉知，那它觉知了什么？
所缘。
The object.
For example, seeing is chitta, so we discussed this morning, chitta, seeing arises by different conditions. When seeing arises, is it aware?
那眼识是去看的心嘛，对不对？当心因为因缘条件升起的时候，它有去觉知所缘吗？
自然知道了。
It knows naturally. Seeing knows naturally.
What does seeing know?
那眼识知道什么？
色尘。
Visible object.
Okay, seeing just experiences visible object. So usually we won't use aware in this way. We just say seeing sees visible object. It experiences visible object. It's not aware of anything. It just sees that visible object.
所以觉知这个字呢，不会这样子用，会说显示呢经验的色尘，或是眼识看，眼识去看的色尘。但觉知有它的精准的定义。
是。
When seeing arises now and sees visible object, do we have to call it method or no method? When seeing arises now and it sees visible object, do we have to call it method or no method?
OK。当眼识升起去看到色尘的那一刻，我们需要叫它有方法或没方法吗？
自然知道。
It's natural now.
It's natural, it's just life. So we're just talking about the understanding of the realities that make up life now. So no need to think about observing, or because seeing doesn't observe, it just experiences visible object, it just sees visible object. If there is understanding now of seeing at this moment, it's not observing, it's understanding which understands that reality, which sees and then gone. but not by anyone observing.
所以我们每一刻所谓的生命都是这些不同的法，对不对？所以比如说眼识去经验看色尘的时候，我们不用叫它是眼识去觉知色尘，但是这些可以被了解，所以我们可以说这些造成我们所谓的生命的法是可以被了解的。我们说要了解了这个法。
Yes, you mentioned awareness, and we all know that the Buddha spoke about awareness. The famous Mindfulness Satipatthana Sutta, for example. So, what did the Buddha mean? What is the awareness that the Buddha taught about?
当我们谈觉知的时候，的确佛陀教导什么是觉知，最有名的就是四念住经，对不对？那到底佛陀讲觉知是什么意思？觉知了什么？
就是我们正念当下的正念。
Aware of this moment.
What would be an example of awareness of this moment?
比如什么？比如你说觉知正念当下。
现在在听法，这个当下这个心在听，我们在交流，这个心就当下这个觉知。
Like aware the
正念
chitta now.
And what would be aware of the citta now? What would be aware of the citta now?
那么觉知现在的心是什么？比如说现在你说如果觉知现在这一刻的心，那比如说这一刻的心是
What
什么？
reality would be aware of the citta now?
我在听，我在想，我们在交流。
那好几刻。
这个就是一直就是在这个。
The hearing, the
而且有一个
thinking,
注意了，变成有一个专注。
Any other answer?
有没有人其他的看法？觉知是什么？
我觉得觉知它本身它是个法，然后透过眼睛、眼识，或是耳识，或舌识，这样子去了解，这个叫做觉知。
觉知是去了解，是不是？
对。
透过什么？
眼识、耳识、鼻识。
透过眼识、耳识去了解什么？
去经验的当下实相的一个过程。
去经验 ，OK。Awareness。
比如说眼识是心嘛，透过这个眼识你看到，然后再透过再进入就是你心会去想，你心会去有一个经验，他是喜欢不喜欢。
Aware, seeing, hearing, and understand them.
That you're talking about the object of awareness, but I'm asking about the reality that is aware.
现在并不是谈觉知的对象，我们现在谈的是觉知本身是什么。
觉知应该是最高的智慧吧。
The highest wisdom.
When we talk about, or when the Buddha spoke about awareness, he was referring to the mental factors of awareness and understanding that arise with a moment of consciousness.
觉知跟智慧如果是不一样的，要不然干嘛要两个名词？不过觉知呢，跟智慧会就是正见正念会一起升起。
觉知是有带有了解的意思。
Does aware understand?
Awareness is one mental factor and understanding is another mental factor, but they both arise together and experience the same object.
觉知是觉知，了解是了解，它是不同的线索，但它们一起升起。
我想觉知讲的是心chitta。
Is awareness chitta?
Awareness is a mental factor and panya is a mental factor, and they arise together in the same moment of consciousness.
觉知跟智慧是心所，它们跟心一起升起，它们不是心。
So it is citta with awareness and with understanding that is aware of something.
所以当心有觉知的心所伴随，我们就可以说有觉知，心在觉知它的对象。
And just like the citta which sees arises now by conditions and not because we have any control over its arising, so also the citta with awareness and understanding arises by conditions. and not because we want to or are trying to be aware.
就像眼识的升起，不是我们的意志力要它升起或不升起，所以当伴随着觉知的心在升起的时候，也不是由我们决定它要或不要升起。
Because the Buddha explained that all realities, citta, cetasika, rupa, are conditioned and arise by their own conditions.
所以所有的这些心所摄法，它的生灭都是有原因的。
So rather than talking about being aware, we should begin to understand what can be the object of awareness.
所以我们在讨论觉知的时候，我们当然要了解一下是什么被觉知的。
So when we say aware, be aware of the present moment, what is actually meant is to be aware of a reality that is arising at the present moment.
所以当我们说觉知当下，什么意思？觉知当下在生灭的法。
And as we have been discussing earlier, Sarah was talking to Yuan, every moment there is a moment of consciousness which is experiencing an object.
就刚刚提到什么是生命嘛？生命一定就是这一刻有心经验了什么，没有心去经验什么，也就不会有生命了。
That citta and its object, they are separate realities if the object is a reality.
那么心去经验的对象是个法的话，很明显它跟心是不同的法嘛。
不清楚这句话的意思。
心去经验的对象不会是心 ，OK， 它是另外一个法。如果
我们中国人对觉知很模糊，因为觉知一个是我感受到了，中国人的认为我知道了，那一个就是一个是物理性的，就是心理性的；一个是物理性的。我说的心理性的，就是说我知道了。那一个是感受性的觉知。我不知道你懂我的意思吗？因为中国人对觉知这两个字，我觉得就已经不太清楚了。所以翻译成巴利文，它的正确的，我觉得我们今天必须要弄清楚这个觉知。
When in Chinese, when we say we aware, it's kind of vague. People tend to mix with I feel, I know, right? So I think she means the definition of awareness is still not clear to her.
Right. And can I say it's the same in English? We talk about being aware, and it's just a matter of meaning something like being alert, being attentive to what is going on.
不只是中文，英文也是哦。当英文用 awareness 觉知的时候，常常是警觉到，或者是注意到，也被拿来当作是觉知。
But in the Buddha's teaching, it is the name for a particular mental factor that arises at each moment of wholesome consciousness.
但是在佛法里面的觉知是善的，是美的心所，它只会跟善心出现而已，跟美的心出现而已。
了解，谢谢。
And it has different levels or degrees according to the kind of wholesome consciousness that it arises together with.
那觉知有好几个层次，根据这个善的层次，它也跟着不一样。因为有善心的那一刻，一定有觉知。但是善有不同的层次，所以觉知也有不同的层次。
So it is, we have to, when we are discussing these terms in the Dhamma context, we need to be careful about assuming that they mean the same as the same term in the everyday context.
所以我们如果是讨论佛法，我们当然就要很精准的用，而不是跟我们日常生活中的混在一起。
这是不是你以前讲的说觉知，有欲界善心就是对不起，就是觉知的本身它有不同层次，那它有欲界的，还有色界无色界的这种区分。
When you say sati has different awareness, different level, do you mean like the human realm and the jhana realm?
No, I mean just in this, talking about this life, because sati arises when there is generosity, it arises when there is consideration for other people, it arises when there is refraining from unwholesome deeds or speech, it arises when there is the development of samatha, and it arises when there is the development of insight also.
它指的是不是不同的戒哦？指的是现在的生命中升起的善有很多种，比如说你去布施，你守戒，你智慧的培养，这是不同层次的善，所以是不同层次的觉知。
Sati is awareness, you didn't.
念，中文翻成念，是念住的念，觉知。
Likewise with the term panya or wisdom, we need to understand that the function of panya is to know something about the characteristic of a conditioned Dhamma, of a reality arising at the present moment.
那么智慧的特色就是去了解这些法，不同的法的特色。智慧可以去知道，不管是哪一种类型的法，哪一个法的特色。
It doesn't mean wisdom that knows about worldly matters or how life began or something like that.
所以我们讲的智慧是指了解法，不是了解我们俗世间的知识，火箭怎么做啊这类的。